I'm Nick Honashevsky. As a professional saltwater fishing journalist, I've explored the world's wildest fishing destinations. Now, I'm bringing you there, into the saltwater underground. Fishing anywhere near the northeast saltwater in the dead winter of December and January is not for the faint of heart. Some may say it's downright insanity, but then again, Blackfish can make anglers do some crazy things. While most anglers pack it in and wait for warmer weather to descend, Tautog beckoned like some ugly siren of the sea, luring anglers to come out in weather reserved for Arctic animals. I fell under the Blackfish's siren song this winter and dialed up some die-hard like-minded friends to buckle down with some serious class bulldog tog that moved into the local Jersey waters. What we didn't plan on, though, was a major snowstorm out 25 miles at sea. All right, Jay, so we're gonna go head out blackfishing right now, and there's two different ways to go about it with conventional setups and spinning setups. Can you explain the nuances of what we're trying to do here and what rod and some reels we should use?
Absolutely. You should have two different combos, a rig rod and a jig rod, 6 foot, 6.5 foot range, 15 to 20 pound braid, 3 to 4,000 size reel with a fast tip and a moderate bend. So it allows you to detect subtle bites.
And then if we're basically using like the whole white leggers for these trophy tog that I believe we're going to try and do,
yep.
More of a beefier conventional setup works a little bit better. So what do you recommend?
Like a 7.5 foot rod with a narrow spooled reel with a low gear ratio for torque to have the length, so when you drop down a big bait like that and you get a good hook set on it, you want to be able to hold the fish up and out of the piece,
right, and
stack line easily. The first 10 yards are super critical on gaining and keeping the fish up and out of the wreck.
That's great. All right, so it looks like we got our jigging set up, with the spinner, and we got our conventional setup to use those big giant crabs for the big tog. So
yeah, we all set.
Yeah, well, ring me up, brother.
Awesome.
Let's go get it done.
Yep.
When targeting blackfish in New Jersey, it's always a solid bet to know the director of the New Jersey Reef program, as we joined Captain Peter Clarke on his Mad Hatter, where he pointed the bow toward a newly jettisoned secret shipwreck to see if we could find some blackfish congregating on the recent structure. So Pete, tell us about the New Jersey Wreck and Reef program, since you basically run that. The New Jersey Reef program is one of the largest in the United States.
Yeah, so we've got 17 reef sites from Sandy Hook down to Cape May. We have one up in the Delaware Bay.
And most of them are laying in that range from easily accessible boaters, like even small boat fishermen, like 1.5 miles off the beach. Seagoat Reef's what, almost 3 miles, 2.8 or something?
Yeah, so from Shark River, it's 5.5 miles. This site is 1.2 miles off of Manasquan, which is right off of this corner. Axel Carlson is right back here again.
Right.
That's within 3 miles. So we try to site these areas in places where fishermen can get to.
Right, right. And so how do you get the reef material? That's like what a lot of people ask me questions out.
Yeah, so everything that we do in the reef program is donated. The state doesn't buy any material. Our goal is to do 10 deployments a year. We're somewhere around 8 this year. If we do Susan Rose, if we sneak it in before the end of the year, we'll be at 9.
We'll be the first ones fishing that.
That's right, yeah.
And the cool thing too about it's not just shipwrecks that are donated on these reef sites. There's the concrete reef balls, there's the bridge rubble, there's the Army tank units. There's so much different variety from low-lying to high-profile structure. So I tell you, man, I appreciate you taking us out. And if you're gonna go black fishing or wreck or reef fishing, might as well go with the guy who runs the program. So Pete, thanks a ton. Let's go catch some more fish.
Absolutely.
All right? Now we're blackfishing. I just mugged Hutch here. He had his hit. Gotta go right in his back pocket. There he is. Oh yeah, on the jig. Got a rod shaker here. Little dude. But he hit the jig right. But he's going back in. All right, deboner's on. Oh, we got a goose here, man.
Johnny
Oh,
Bone.
nicer fish. All right. Yeah, debone's on the first real fish of the day there. Little white chinner, beautiful white spots on him and everything. And I hit the regular Belmar rig there, old bottom fishing rig. Looks like Tim's got one on. Yeah, it is a nice fish. There you go. Yep. Nice work. Beauty fish, Tim. That's beauty, man. You adjust as they come, you know, as they're hitting. You got to switch your tactics up. So right now, looks like the orange jig and half a white legger. We started to get the bite going on the Mad Hatter, but now it was time to come up with some larger fish.
This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by Fisherman Supply, Grumpy's Tackle, Island X Lures, Nick Honashevsky on Instagram and YouTube, and these fine supporting sponsors. This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by Fisherman Supply, Grumpy's Tackle, Island X Lures, Nick Honashevsky on Instagram and YouTube, and these fine supporting sponsors.
All right, Hutch, being the editor of the Fisherman magazine.
Which doesn't make me a good fisherman.
Good point, but apparently you know some stuff, right?
I know some stuff.
People don't realize that like a 10-pound tog in general is anywhere from like 20 to like 35 years
Yeah, I mean,
old,
they're-
somewhere around there. I mean, that's an old fish at that point.
What's really cool, what you mentioned, is that in the last bunch of years, what I've seen a lot of in New Jersey is folks letting go of those big fish.
Right. You know, I think people should be aware of how slow growing these blackfish are and how long they actually live. And, you know, to give reverence to the fish when they're that
I think
large,
those big
you know?
ones, yeah. And
Yeah,
I-
like anything like, you know, 10 pounds and over, generally speaking, I'm releasing, and I try and encourage that too. And it's better to let those bigger ones go.
But it's really hard to not let a 4 or 5 pounder go in the box.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, I mean,
No,
it's
those
the,
are the roasters, right?
it's
yeah,
the best
yeah.
tasting fish,
Oh
I
man,
think, that
poor
we have.
man's lobster, we call them, right? You
It's
know? So-
fantastic.
Oh, we got a rod bender here. That could be net worthy. Nice, Johnny Bones. There's D-Bones with a nice old, looks like a male. Nice. Male white chinner, and then
Swinger.
we got Hutches on one there. Starting to bite with the change of the tide here.
Look how cute his is. Look.
Yeah. Cute. Nice.
Got my coloring.
Nice work. Johnny Bones getting it done over here. Look at that, man. Another one, man. That's why I'm bringing D-Bones and Hutch, man. The Mad Hatter got our tog technique dialed in, but we got word that the southern Jersey reef sites were harboring some larger caliber fish. A call to good bud Sean Riley said Captain Robbie Moss on the Moover had some sweet intel for big white chinner class blackfish. But there was one problem. A major snowstorm was forecasted. We played the odds and found a small weather window to allow us a shot at glory, if we could battle the blizzard conditions. Robbie, what are we doing here? What's the plan?
All right, today we're gonna go out. We got a nice low pressure. We're gonna go out and hit some low line wrecks, preferably wooden ones, but that doesn't always matter. Out deeper, we're going for trophy tog, big tog.
That's it. Well, let's see. We got on the spot lock right now, I guess, and maybe
Yeah.
we'll stay on this wreck a little bit, see if we can get some of those togs scratching, all right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, this is why we're here. Robbie just tangled up with a pretty good one, it looks like. Yeah, just kind of sitting on it, huh? Yeah. Oh, Shawnee's on. They're starting to bite right now. Snow's getting them. Oh, there we go. He's starting to make. Woo! Nice work. Woo! There's a fat boy. That is a nice chunker fish, man. Sean's got a little snowball. Rob's got the iceberg here, dude. That's the type we're looking for out here. That's iceberg tautog. That's a nice fat fish, Robbie. Leave it to the captain to catch a big one to start it off. Woo! That's 6.5, almost 7 pound tog. That 6.5, 7 pounder Robbie just caught female, so we're gonna let her go back down. Yep, send her back. Get some bigger ones out here too. Got about 2 inches of snow already on deck. Oh man, not gonna have a problem keeping the fish cold today. All right, woo, another nice one. Woo, that's the man right there getting them. You gotta battle through the snow. Get some tog today in the cooler. This one just whacked it. Put a green crab down to differentiate here, and this one hit it a little bit harder. Feels like a better fight. That'll keep. Yeah, not too shabby. Oh yeah, there's the greenie right there. All right, there we go. Already iced. We're bringing them up iced. What is this garbage? You'll get yours. You'll get yours. Well, now he's bulldogging. Now he just realized he got hooked. Yep. Oh yeah. On the green crab, came up with slush on him. All right, getting a little bit bigger now. There we go. I can't defend myself. Knucklehead. Release this little guy. Put him back in, about 4.5, 5 pounds. Going back down where it's warmer. Oh yeah. Yoo-hoo. This is the secret snowball, the crab ball. It's gonna see Sean's face real soon. Jess just got walloped by a big tog. She's working the fish right now, bending the rod hard. That looks like a good one, Jesse. Let's swing him up. Nice. Woo. The couple that fishes together stays together. Nice snowbound tog right there. Woo. It's a better one here. I might swing him. Ah, with his butt coming out. All right. That's how we get it done on the Moover, boys. Whew. All right, I'll lay him right down in the snow in our own homemade ice box up here with 4 inches of snow. All right. When you got snow, snowball fight, right? Getting there.
Little male.
Building up in size now, yeah? Oh.
Robbie's working.
Captain Rob's got one on right now. Still, oh yeah, got the rod bend here. Yoo! Here we go, let's go get more. When coming to Summers Point in Ocean City, man, gotta make the stop at Charlie's to get the chicken tenders and wings. Meanwhile, we're just claiming fish. That's what we eat. That's what keeps us fueled up out here. Woohoo! Can't beat it, man. Wings for everybody. Thanks, Charlie's. Woo! Now Jess is catching tog. Wings to tog. Another pretty decent one. Keeper size, but I don't think he's trophy. I thought he was bigger than he was. Little boxer, little roaster. It's like Sean just got waffled by a big fish here. See how big it is. All right. Yeah. It's all worth it out here in the snow, man. That's a nice fish, man. Beautiful. Johnny and Jess just scored a nice 4.5, 5 pounder right there. Snowblind and happy, our crew found the joy in wreck fishing during a beautiful snowstorm. But the sweetest treat was to come, as I put out a phone call setting up a meet the next day with Chef James Avery of Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen.
This episode of Saltwater Underground with Nick Honashevsky is brought to you by Fisherman Supply, Grumpy's Tackle, Island X Lures, Nick Honashevsky on Instagram and YouTube, and these fine supporting sponsors.
All right, we got a real home-style treat here to cook up this blackfish. We're stopping by the home of Chef James Avery, who's actually Gordon Ramsay's sous chef on the show Hell's Kitchen. We'll see what James can do with this blackfish.
Yo, what's up, handsome?
What's going
on? You good?
Cook some blackfish, man. All right, brother. What are we gonna do here today? Tell me what's happening.
Well, you told me you got some Tautog.
Yep.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes,
buddy,
sir.
Buddy Tim went with you?
Yep.
All right, so Tautog is actually my favorite fish, both going fishing for it and eating it. But I think, honestly, the best way to prepare it for us today is just we're doing a really simple beer batter I learned from Gordon Ramsay.
Right.
The recipe is awesome.
Real simple home style, man.
That's it, dude. And I hope the people that watching your show do know how to will knock this recipe out. It's super simple.
Show us how it's done, brother.
Yeah, man, let's do it. So the first thing with the beer batter is all-purpose flour. In here, I've got about a cup. I like to season it with a little bit of curry powder. Now, you could use Old Bay, you could use cayenne, paprika. I'm telling you, this is what I like, and you can put as much or as little as you want. And then I do a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder. Some salt, I'm gonna go with about, a teaspoon. Now I'm making my batter first. You want to give this batter time to relax. Once you mix the batter, it's gluten, so it gets kind of tough. You want to let it chill out. Now, beer. You want to do about 1/2 can to 3/4 of a can. Here's what makes this batter recipe so good. What happens is when alcohol hits the oil, what happens is it explodes, it evaporates quickly. You get all these little crispy bits. I don't think there's enough alcohol in beer, so I like to add a little bit of vodka. You could use gin, but really you just want that neutral spirit. Basically, you want it to resemble pancake batter, okay?
All right, here's the proof of the pudding here, brother. Got those blackfish with Timmy and
juicy.
Everyone else on the Mad Hatter.
All right, just make sure there's no bones in there. So what I'm doing now is all this is right to my left is a little bit of all-purpose flour. This is gonna stick to the meat, and then when I put it in the batter is gonna stick. It's gonna help the batter glue to the meat of the fish, okay? I got a makeshift fryer put together, got a little peanut oil in there, got it on my induction burner. You can do it on your stove top. You just want it to be around 350, 400 degrees. In the batter, okay?
Look at that, bubbling up nice. Oh yeah.
That's it, and you can see that vodka is, giving all those nice bubbles in there. And by the time this batter sets and gets golden brown, that beautiful tender meat on the inside is beautifully, nicely cooked. You want the oil like medium high so that it gives the fish time to cook. So as the batter is slowly setting and crisping up and turning golden brown, you're giving that fish on the inside enough time. Let them hang out in the jacuzzi for a little bit. Like some tartar sauce.
Yeah, man. Go get yours.
Yeah, now we just wait. Let the oil and the fish do its own thing,
How long does it generally take till they're ready to cook?
I'm gonna give it like 6 or 7 minutes. Right. I got a little tool for that.
Oh, nice.
I don't use a thermometer, I use a cake tester. And if I can pierce the fish and it slides right through the fish, without it I know it's done. So I'm gonna give it like another 1.5 minutes.
So you want that sliding through the fish?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
And you could also do this, right? Like hold it in.
Yep.
It's hot, it's done. That way you're not poking, ripping all these. I use that for a steak,
Okay.
little trick I got. Now, you want to have a place to rest your fish on, okay? This is going to allow it to cool, let that extra oil drain off. That's it. Anytime something comes out of hot oil, you want to season it. I use it with a little bit of sea salt, okay? Do it when it comes right out of the fryer. It'll help the oil stick to it. I also season the batter, so there's plenty of seasoning in there.
Right.
That's it, man. Fish and chips.
Man, this is sick. I gotta dip in again, see what's up, get a bite. The fragrance of that blackfish and just that hint of curry, so it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it brings out the flavor of that white meat from the blackfish.
Yeah, otherwise we're kind of boring, People think of curry as like the visual of curry.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers to that. I can dig this. Beer and fish and chips. That's great. Thanks a ton, brother.
Yeah, man. Enjoy. Cheers.
This is how we get it done. I got a beer and fish in my hand, so we got to give a pound.
Cheers.
And cheers.
Later, guys.
All right, that's how you do Blackfish. Fishing is always a memorable experience, but you have to admit, some fishing trips burn a little bit brighter in memory throughout the years. Pulling on Blackfish with good friends Hutch and D-Bones, while learning about the prolific Jersey reef systems from Captain Clarke was a solid time. But when you want to turn up a Blackfish experience to 11, why not throw in a snowstorm with some longtime friends like Sean, Jess, Ed, and Captain Rob, all the while battling hand-numbing temps to secure fillets for the frying pan. We may all be getting older, but sprinkle in a little snowfall and the inner kid in you will always come out to play. That, my friends, is what the true meaning of fishing is all about.